Alex, Andrés, explícale por favor el contexto un poco de lo que hemos leído de la book.
Oh, what do I see?
No
Oh,
lo
they've
sé.
got a safety car balled out.
Y si la viera,
Madre de Dios.
viéramos...
Oh, man. But at least that's a lot better than it was yesterday, where it was... Well, time for race 2 of EUROCUP-3 here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands, and welcome to what is set to be an exciting race. You join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, your play-by-play commentator, and, well, hopefully his voice has slightly recovered since yesterday. Alex Garcia down in the paddock, as there is a hive of activity, and what's better, Alex, is that it's still a bit windy, but the temperatures have risen, and we have a dry track for today's second race.
Thank you very much for your concern about my voice. As you can see, it's more or less the same as yesterday. Just as the wind is the same as yesterday, it's very, very windy. It's only picking up, so I think main straight and especially throughout the race, it might get a little bit trickier. But yes, it's warmer, it's sunny, thank God, finally the sun came out. And so it's of course a dry race. It was dry yesterday, for the most part anyway, but today there's no doubt about tarmac being completely dry, so that's a good thing. We have not yet cars on the grid. They are actually currently doing the installation laps, but as you will surely know, we have Michael Sheen taking part in the race, which is amazing considering the hefty crash that he had yesterday. Very good to see the safety measures did their work. Very good to see the driver confident enough to go back into the car, and he's in a good starting position. So who knows, maybe we have a nice story for the end of today.
Yes, obviously on the receiving end of that incident yesterday, Alexander Abkazava picked up a 5-place grid penalty, qualified P6 in Q2, but now is dumped outside of the top 10. And, well, it's going to be a good one for the Kazakhstani driver alongside Jose Garfias for Santalok Racing, so 2 Santalok cars on the same row. But I think we have to look back at yesterday, Alex. Javier Sagrera. Okay, yes, it wasn't the most entertaining, exciting racing. It was interrupted, filled, like we wouldn't believe. I mean, it's been... Yes, we had the dramas in race 2 at Spa, curtailed until we went to Portimao for round 3. But yesterday has been, I think, the biggest time in EuroCup-3 this season where we literally have had the bit of a full lap of racing. So the drivers might be a little bit on edge today, I would say.
Yes, yesterday's race was definitely very, very eventful. I think, if I recall correctly, the last time we saw a safety car start with a single-seater race on the dry was in Formula 2 in 2018. So that's been a long time. This is just for context for people to understand how rare that was. And then, as you said, very few laps of green flag, safety car interruption. So, but even then, we saw a clear, good performance from Javier Sagrera, did a great job. But as you said, people want to go out and race. Even Michael Sheen, we were spying a few things in the paddock, you know. They were checking his helmets and all his gear, all the technical side to make sure things were okay. And he was pretty much ready to say, just let me go out and race. He just wanted to go out and drive. These guys are ready for this, and this has a double meaning. 1, they want to race, obviously. 2, they want to fight hard on track. Today, we're going to see sparks flying, for sure.
And that's especially the case when the drivers are running at the best part of 230 plus kilometers an hour, heading down into Tarzanbocht here at turn 1. 14 corners, a lot of banking, elevation changes, close proximity barriers. This circuit has been around for 3/4 of a century, measures 4.307 kilometers. And you have to look at previous history. Let's talk about last year. Esteban Masson, Campos were dominant this year, but the tables have turned in the favour of the hometown heroes, MP Motorsport.
Campos is doing a great job, I think, this year as well, in the sense that maybe they do not have their whole team prepared to fight for wins at every race, but Christian Ho is always there. He's backed by a very, very competitive team. Of course, Campos Racing needs no introduction, and neither does MP Motorsport, who are racing home. They have very, very quick drivers. Let's not forget, 2 championship contenders who stood on the podium yesterday, so they know how to be quick here. And as you were saying, Tarzanbocht here behind me, best overtaking spot of probably of the circuit, and it's one spot where if you get it wrong and you end up in the gravel, it may be very difficult to go back on track. We know that this slope is very good for stopping cars, but it's not very good for getting them back into the track.
Also, there's one spot that a certain young Bulgarian showcased yesterday with the battle with Theodor Jensen. Nikolai Solov doing a Danny Rick, throwing it up the inside at Hugenholtz on Theodor Jensen. It was, okay, yes, we didn't have full green flag laps of racing, but Solov just showcased why he's in this championship. He's here to compete, he's here to win, and I don't think Theodor Jensen knew what hit him until Solov was past him on the underside of the banking. And you look at the banking in comparison with, let's say, NASCAR Euro Wheeling Series. Okay, yes, they do run on bank tracks. You look at NASCAR General in the United States, but there is not an oval track that has the severity of banking that we have, both not just at Hugenholtz at turn 3, but the final corner named after IndyCar legend, Dutch national treasure, Arie Luyendyk.
I think in Hugenholtz, the key is that the banking helps a very good corner design, which is corner design with changing radius. So that means there's a lot of different good trajectories, good racing lines, and that helped Nicolas Solov do a very good job. This is the best Solov we saw, the one we remember from Formula 4 in Spain. And this is why we were all so excited to see him climbing the ranks and racing in Formula 4, Formula 3, EUROCUP-3, because he's a very promising young guy, and he showed it yesterday. So, as you said, he did a Danny Rick, he did a very good job, he did something that is definitely not easy, but here's the kicker. Other drivers will have seen that, they will have checked that on the replays, and now they know this can be done, and they may be able to replicate it. And if they replicate it, we will have lots of fans today on the stands, because yesterday was rainy, yesterday was bad, yes, but today is sunny, and Dutch fans know a good racing day when they see one.
Very, very true. As the cars exit out of pit lane, air temperature 19 degrees Celsius, track temperature now hitting a peachy 28 degrees Celsius here, Alex. That says to me optimum conditions, dry weather here at Zandvoort. Yes, we're at 32 kph with regards to the wind speed. That could throw a bit of the traditional North Sea Dutch beach sand coming onto it, but it won't detract from an exciting second race after yesterday.
Exactly, that's the other challenge that we may have, which is a normal thing, a usual thing here in Zandvoort, which is the beach sand perhaps getting involved. So far we haven't noticed it, we haven't felt the sand, we haven't seen the sand on the floor, on the tarmac, on the track, but it is always a possibility. The wind is definitely very, very strong, and it hasn't really stopped since yesterday, so it's been continuous thing during the weekend. Rain helped us not get the sand. Today's dry, no rain, we could have it. But, I think these guys are very, very well prepared. The teams are prepared. And we know that they are using good protectors to avoid getting too much dirt into the sensitive parts of the car.
Yeah, that's very true. The drivers will be warming up the engine oil and coolant temperatures, and also get that well-needed tyre temperature through the carcass, which then also permeates into the very, very very important braking systems on these cars. Of course, this is where single-seater drivers make a name for themselves in these single-seater feeder series categories, and especially when folks, for those at home, yes, they are full of technology, but if you want to become one of the best racers in the world, there are no assists, there's no ABS, no traction control. It's raw, it's brutal, and Mr. Garcia, we love it.
We absolutely love it, and this is exactly why this is a good school for drivers, because there's no help. You know, you just need to get out there, get in the car, and drive. And come on, this is racing, and they know it, we know it, the fans know it. This is why we love it.
Exactly. Looks like we're going to hopefully have a full capacity 26 car grid as per the entry list earlier on this week on EUROCUP-3 social medias. Don't forget to give us a follow and also a like on Facebook and Instagram whilst you're at it. And if you are watching on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe whilst you're at it. It might be a little click on a subscribe button for you lot out there, but for us here at EUROCUP-3, it means we can spread the word about these great feeder series here in single-seaters.
Exactly, and I think we'll be checking, but we might have the chance to talk with a few protagonists here. So stay tuned, everyone, because we will have the chance to talk to some people. I'll keep bringing them to you as we have the chance. But yeah, no, it's really good because we are seeing, as I said before, a very, very good atmosphere. The weather is very good. Yes, the wind, you know, is going to be there. It's not going to change. But yeah, now we have the possibility to talk to Sander Dorsman, team principal of MPA Motorsport. Sander, it's a pleasure to have you here. Home race, and of course, what a result yesterday.
Yeah, we had a good race yesterday. Obviously, it was a bit a messy race. Yeah, a bit of weather, of course. It's still very windy, but at least it's dry now. But yesterday, yeah, unfortunately, there was the big crash. Luckily, nobody got injured. But after that, yeah, some safety car periods. Hopefully, today we have a bit more clean race and can do a bit more real racing, I would say.
And how different is for you to be able to work so close from home?
No, actually it's a luxury. Apart from, like I said, apart from the weather, it's called summer trophy, but not much summer yet. But no, it's of course nice to be home track. It's a nice circuit, really challenging, really driver circuit. I'm pretty sure if we have a clean race, it produces some nice racing as well, some overtaking possibilities here and there, like turn 3. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the race, and let's see how we can do.
Looking forward to a good one. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So those were the words of Sander Dorsman. As he said, I think he echoed our feelings. You know, it's a driver's circuit. We love it. The drivers love it. We forgot to say team principals love it as well, because this is one of the good places to see, you know, if your drivers really have what it takes to be a future world champion or not. Maybe it sounds a bit tough, a bit strict to say, but I think this kind of circuit is the type of track that separates true greats from, you know, good drivers, or very good drivers even.
It's definitely on a racing driver's bucket list. You want to come here to a track like Zandvoort to really, really get the feel of not just this great amphitheatre amidst the Dutch sand dunes just off the North Sea coast. I mean, Hoek van Holland, the local international ferry port, is about 2 hours drive from here. And that was actually how I got my way over to Circuit Zandvoort back when it was known as Circuit Park Zandvoort. It's been through the ringer when it comes to name changes, but what they have done is kept tradition alive at major international circuits that have been around for at least 60, 70 years plus. They don't give them turn corner names, they give them names for those corners, and that's why you can put people like Arie Luyendyk, also one of the people really instrumental of the Dutch Grand Prix coming back to Zandvoort, was an ex-F1 driver in his own right, Jan Lammers, and spent a lot of time working with partners, working with individuals that wanted to make this flourish. And when you have a talent like Max Verstappen, a 3-time defending FIA F1 world champion, who also, when you think about when he made his move to Formula One, Alex, you look at his time with another Dutch staple in single-seaters. We can't forget about Van Amersfoort Racing. But it looks like you've got an interview. Who have you got for us today?
Exactly. I'll come back to that because that is really interesting. But we have the chance to talk for a moment to Michael Sheen, who is back on the car after yesterday's crash. So let's see how he prepares for this second race of the weekend. Michael, thank you very much for having some time with us. How do you feel after yesterday's crash and the expectations for today's race?
Yeah, you know, the crash was big, but luckily, you know, the car was protecting me throughout the roll, and I'm able to race today, which is a great thing, and I'm very lucky to be here. Starting 6th, I think we have good points on the table, so I just don't need to make any mistakes and finish the race.
Thank you very much, and hopefully you can have a nice ending to the weekend.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. So those were the words of Michael Sheen. As you can see, he's quite pumped, quite looking forward to racing, and hopeful that he can have a good result. He knows he's starting from a good position. 6th place is a good place to have, a chance for points, maybe a chance for podium if he has a good start. So why not? He's not discounting anything. That's, I think, a racer's attitude as well, especially after that amazingly huge crash that he had yesterday, which I'm so happy that the consequences were mostly cosmetic, let's say, or technical, but not related to the driver himself.
Yeah, completely agree. Funnily enough, Alex, he's actually starting where Alexander Abkazava had qualified. So Michael Shin was out-qualified by Alexander Abkazava as the 1 minute board goes out. But your final thoughts as the drivers gear up and get ready for race 2 here at Zandvoort?
Well, I wanted to go back very briefly to what you mentioned, because I think sometimes people forget just how rich Dutch motorsport history is and how special this place is, and in terms of, people who have made this happen, people who have made the Dutch motorsport industry thrive in terms of teams, drivers, and even former drivers who have later, help the teams that remain and help the race come back to Formula One, which I think is very good, because these people have a huge passion for motorsport. MP Motorsport is a great example for what a team can do in junior categories. And I think this is good for everyone, and it doesn't matter if you're Dutch, or if you're Spanish, or if you're from the US. It doesn't matter for everyone that there's more people involved with this.
Brilliant, Alex. We'll leave you to it, so get yourselves entry at the pit lane. Here we go. Formation lap for race 2, round 5 for EUROCUP-3 2024 at the iconic Circuit Zandvoort. Here's your starting grid, and it's an MP Motorsport front row lockout. Javier Segrera and Owen Tagovailoa are on the front row. Bruno Del Pino joined by a young German rookie from Campos Racing, Valentin Puss. Christian Ho and Michael Shin round out row 3 ahead of MP Motorsport Stadio Cabanellas and Noah Lyle from Campos Racing, who definitely was in the hunt for a podium yesterday. Emo Fittipaldi Jr. and Garrett Berry start on row 5, thereby completing the top 10. Alexander Abkazava, after the 5-place grid penalty, starts 11th with Jose Garfias, his teammate, and the number 99 alongside for company on row 6. Then it's Yevan David and Luciano Morano for Santalok Racing and Palou Motorsport, rounding out row 7. Nicola Soloff and Diego de la Torre round out row 8 with Daniel Nogales and Jesse Carrasquedo rounding out row 9, completing the top 20, Joao Diaz and Nick Gilks, then completing the 26-strong grid, Isaac Barashi, Theodore Jensen, Georgi Zurawski, Emily Tohoyes, Gaspar de Galle, and last but by certainly no means least, Kyrgyzstan's Victoria Blokina. And as you can hear, there is a lot of wind blowing its way across the circuit. It is going to be not a safety car start, we're going to be under standing start conditions. And it's about getting that getaway from the lights. So once the lights go out, we'll be off and racing for 30 minutes plus one additional lap around this 4.307 kilometer 14 turn circuit. And then after this, it's going to be a 2-week before we head to Motorland Aragon for the 6th round of the championship season, 26th to the 28th of July, 4th and 6th of October, Circuito de Jerez for the penultimate round. And then round 8 heads to the home of the Spanish Grand Prix, the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, on the 8th to the 10th of November. Of course, Esteban Masson was last year's champion, but has moved on to brighter things. Now we get to see what is going to transpire and who will be the championship leader after this second race. Javier Segrera has now put Christian Ho on well and true notice. But it's not just those two we have to consider. Bruno Del Pino, who rounded out the top 3, also is very much in the mix. The top 4 rows make that the top 5 rows now themselves into position. It's a long wait for the likes of Sagrera, Tangabello, Del Pino, and Klus. Klus being the top rookie ahead of the man who was coming into this championship round as the points leader, Singapore's Christian Ho. This is going to be crucial. Now, I have spotted a car that's a Santalok racing car. Could be Diego de la Torre that might be out of position. And I'm wondering whether it's going to be a green flag waving at the back. The 5 lights, they ignite on the gantry, the revs rise as Euro 2, round 5 is underway, and a lightning bolt start from Javier Sagrera from the front row as the 2 Campos cars of Klus and Ho really start to get their elbows out early doors as we head through Tarzan on the opening tour. But one of the MP Motorsports cars goes off, manages to rejoin, and there's a Santalok car off and into the barriers straight away off of Hunsrug as the drivers go up the hill for the first time. So dramas for one of the drivers. They haven't broken the timing beam for the opening sector, but still Sagrera leading the way. It is going to be Alexander Abkazava. 2 DNFs in 2 successive races for the Kazakhstani driver. So safety car, no surprise, has just been deployed by race control. Safety car deployed within the opening lap. So everything restarts all over again. And I'm sure that Javier Sagrera is probably thinking, why here? Why now? It was a great start from him. But the good thing is, Del Pino has gotten up into second. Valentin Klus goes up into P3. So there you see. Now, I'm not too sure what happened, but there was definitely possible contact for Alexander Abkazava that meant that the Kazakhstani driver, who will not take any further part in this race. So Alexander Abkazava out of the car, all good. Just pride being for the driver for Santalok Racing in the number 44. So at the moment, your top 5 are Sagrera, Del Pino, Klus, and then we've got Tangabello running at the top 4. Michael Shin, fresh from Malta, and I saw the original footage yesterday. Quite harrowing, but as we were saying about the safety cells on these cars, especially with the halo, people were very, very skeptical. They were very quick to dumb it down. But now you see a multi-car roll, and it really, really does the work it's set out to do. Christian Ho finds himself 6th position, so which means Valentin Klus at the moment is in the final position in the top 3, which means a potential trip to the podium. However, this is now going to claw everything back, and everyone's going to have to concertina, and then, well, it's down to the course and race control as to when they let them go racing. But Sagrera, as I said earlier on, is going to have to now dictate what happens. Del Pino was looking very, very racy as the recovery of Alexander Abkazava's number 12 Santalok Racing EUROCUP-3 car is now being extricated from the circuit, so from a live track. They want to make sure that that car is completely out of harm's way and does not cause any further dramas. But as you can see, the grass and the barriers, probably about probably the span of 1.5 times a Euro Cup 3 car. And this is turn 7, Shevlak. And then down the hill, you are literally committing probably the best part of 180 kilometers an hour through this corner. It's blind. You've got to really know where your marker is, and when you know you have the confidence in the car to really push it forward. But the time is still ticking away. Of course, we are on lap 2 of this race. But with the conditions as they are, 28 degrees track temperature, 19 degrees air temperature, 69% humidity. Well, you know what? I think with a jumping down to our good friend Alex Garcia. Alex, it really, really got very, very racy down there, but straight away, Alexander Abkazava has got a weekend to forget. First off, the incident between not even hitting turn
Yeah, exactly.
6, and he's out again.
Exactly, it's a weekend to forget for him. It's very unfortunate because no driver wants to have to go through this kind of situation. It affects your confidence because, you know, you have one incident on Saturday, you go on Sunday thinking, okay, you know, reset, start from zero, start from scratch, even though there's the penalty, let's make the most out of it, and then something else happens. Nobody wants to see that because it's you know, he won a race a couple of events ago and that was a good momentum, and now with this, the momentum into the summer is not very good, so, you know, there's a wait for the next round, and, you know, 2 weeks that he'll have to do a little bit of soul searching to get a bit more confident for next event. But motorsport is like this sometimes.
Yeah, just been informed that the incident involving car number 12 at turn 2 will be investigated post-race. So there was contact for those that are keeping an eye on the highlights. But yeah, as you said, Alexander Abkazava, very much a race to forget. But I was saying earlier on that Javier Segreda's got the same situation as he had yesterday. Safety car restart. So I'm sure he was hoping this morning when he woke up, thinking maybe lightning strike twice. Well, I'm sorry, Javier, it's happened.
You know, Zandvoort, this is why we say it's a driver's circuit. It's a place where these things can happen, but this also throws a wrench in the works, you know. And now Javier Sagrera needs to think back on what he did well yesterday and have another good restart. For him, the good thing is, you know, I know how to do it. I've done it. I'm quick on the dry. I'm quick on the wet. Nothing can touch me here, and he's confident. So I don't think he's too upset. If anything, he'll be thinking, oh, you know, I would like to have more racing time, more time to drive in anger. Whether that will happen or not, we will see, but, you know, it's racing, he's managing it perfectly. Let's see how he manages in the restart, but I think if I were a betting man, I would probably say that he will keep the lead.
Yeah, very astute observation there, Alex. I think I'm very much in the same opinion as yourself. And yeah, the thing is, we haven't yet been informed that the safety car is going in. Right, safety car is going in this lap. So, Alex, we'll leave you to it down in the pit lane, obviously, so keep me updated, as you have been doing so far. Let us know what's happening down there. And if you manage to get an interview or two, if we do have another safety car period, keep us posted. And if we don't speak to you in the meantime, we'll catch up with you post-race.
We'll be there.
So, 22 minutes and 45 seconds on the timer, plus an additional lap still to go here in round 5, race EUROCUP-3 2024. And at the moment, well, Javier Segrera still keeping a hold of the lead. Bruno Del Pino looking to go one better on the podium, maybe even looking to go up to the top step. And that would be a good one for the young Spaniard. But it's safety car in this lap. The BMW safety car has peeled away. And now Javier Segrera becomes the de facto pace car. Valentin Klus, the young rookie from Germany, waiting in the wings. This is where it matters the most, and it's when Segrera decides to put the pedal to the metal. Green flag has now been waved on the stop finish, and here we go. It's game on. Restart under green flag racing conditions, heading through the extreme banking of the left-hander at turn 14 at Ari Leyendijk, and we're back underway here at Zandvoort for race 2. And there are juxtapositions a little bit further back, just outside of the top 5. And that'll include Noah Lyle, who might be diving up the inside of Christian Ho, as Valentin Klus has got Owen Tangavellu up the inside through Tarzan. Now they've got the run through Hugenholtz very, very shortly as they head into Gerlachmocht. And then into the extreme banking, and Valentin Klus keeps Owen Tangavellu at bay, and they are still wheel to wheel. Great confidence for these two drivers, but we're heading into Hunsrück up the hill. They're still wheel to wheel. Valentin Klus up the inside, full bravado through Schäflach, takes third place, back from Owen Tangavellu. What a move from the young man from Germany. Absolute textbook. That is what you call a Herculean effort. And more to the point, a fantastic overtake, but one of the Campos cars has slid off the circuit and has gone backwards. That means Possible, that's yellow flag. Starting procedure is currently under investigation. So we're going to find that's Noah Lyle dropping the car, rotating backwards and pointing in the other direction. But however, looks like Noah Lyle, who's dropped to the back end of the field, has gotten back going again. So we're under full course green flag racing conditions. But Javier Sagrera has a half-second lead at the moment and pumps in the new fastest lap of the race, 1:33.130. And still, this is what the fans want to see here at the Zandvoort Summer Drove, wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side action. And we've had one go off. Once it's gone off at top. And Alex Garcia was mentioning that. That was, I think that was the 34 possibly, or maybe even the 24. Even been Tangavelu, who knows? But they're coming through the opening sector. Purple set. And it was Emo Fittipaldi Jr. was the one that so luckily enough went off at Tarzan, went straight on, but went straight travel, found the escape road and got back out and rejoins down in 22nd position. But at the moment it is a 1-2 for MP Motorsport. Sagrera and Del Pino leading the way. Valentin Klus holding on to third position. Personal best to 1:34.153. He's nearly 1.9 seconds behind current race leader Javier Sagrera. And hearing EUROCUP-3 engines at full racing speed, that wonderful noise, that brutal noise of the exhaust. And now the battle for the race lead is starting to happen. Del Pino looking for an opportunity to get past Sagrera. And he's looking to the outside at Tarzan. That's going to be brave, but can he do the crisscross here up through Gerlach and in towards Hugenholz? Through turn 2, now into 3, down the inside. Del Pino tries to make slight contact with the left rear wheel of his teammates. Oh, that was heart of the mouth moment there for not just Javier Sagrera, but Bruno Del Pino. Del Pino went for the move, trying to do what Nikolai Solov did yesterday on Theodore Jens, and it nearly came to drama. And if both cars were out, that would have promoted Campos Racing's Valentin Klus to the race lead. Let's have a look at it again. There's the touch, right front to left rear. It was the slightest of touches, but if there was any more velocity, that would have been even more difficult, and it would have been a bitter pill for MP Motorsport to swallow. But what that has done, it has brought Valentin Klus into contention. What's more is that also someone else is hungry for being not just on the podium, on the top step. That driver is Christian Ho. There you see down in the pit lane, the team from MP Motorsport really, really keeping a keen eagle eye on things. They will be communicating with Sagrera and Del Pino, saying, guys, once fine, twice shame on you both. And it hounded at Hugenholz, the contact between Sagrera and also Del Pino. This is very, very crucial that they don't trip over each other at the moment. As we have, there is Nikolai Solov closing in on Dario Cabanelas for MP Motorsport. That's the battle for 9th place. But in the meantime, well, I'm just looking at what I'm seeing right now, because Tangavelu is coming under fire. Christian Ho in the battle for 4th place. Now, Christian Ho is the leading rookie in the championship, but also coming into this championship round was the leader of the rookie standings. So Christian Ho wants to fire back at Javier Sagrera and wants to be battling away as we are fast approaching half-time in this race. So just under 16 minutes plus an additional lap left to go. The gap between first and second still at just under 0.6 of a second. So through the running order, so Javier Sagrera Bruno Del Pino, Valentin Klus, Owen Tangavello, and Crew round out the top 5 places. Then we go down to Michael Shin in 6th, and then the number 99 of Jose Garfias, who's made his way up from 12th on the grid, and now currently runs P7. And, well, Yevan David is doing a great job. Started on the inside of row 7, and now is currently running in 8th place. So the 3rd highest placed rookie. As we hit half-time here at Zandvoort, more wheel-to-wheel action. This is going through Gerlach at turns, now into Hugenholz. But what a sight. Dry track at Zandvoort, as here goes Solov. This is going to be a big run down the hill at turn 7 and into turn 8 here at Masters. Very much the case of how the drivers are pushing the absolute limit. So Cabanellas coming under real fire from Nikolai Solov, who's trying to go around the outside. That's brave, I think that's at turn 10. So 25 of the runners still competing in this race. And we're on lap number 8. And at the minute, well, Del Pino want to close that gap. It's 5.5 tenths of a second between Del Pino in P2 and Segrera, who currently leads. Drivers making improvements as the track evolves through usage. As again, well, Tangavello has just gone purple in sector 3, 28.1. All the drivers hitting anywhere between a 28.1 and a 28.4. As Nikolai Solov has got past Dario Cabanella, and not too far behind them, number 18, Garrett Berry, who started in 10th place. So looking to get back into the top 10 and also secure a championship point or 2 here in EUROCUP-3. Del Pino again just trying to close, and well, I'm just seeing the gap between Del Pino and Segrera is under 3 tenths, and there's still more battles to be had. This is just absolutely enthralling what we're seeing on our screens. A very different affair to what we had yesterday. But Tangavello and Christian Ho really starting to do what they can. We go back to the race leaders. So Tangavello closing in on Valentin Klus. So driver from Vietnam versus the driver from Germany. As they bump through the curbs at turns 11 and 12 at the Hans-Bocht. Then through into turn 3. And then here comes the customary banking. It's a wonderful part of the circuit. It really just means that drivers can hang the cars very low towards the curbing and then just open up the steering and really power out through the corners. And now, Segrera has opened up the gap. You know, but it is still a formation at the front for MP Motorsport. 1 and 2 for Segrera and Del Pino. Christian Ho is trying to close on in on Owen Tangavello, and the gap between them is around about 1.4 seconds. It's still 12 minutes, so never say never when you have a driver as committed and as motivated and like Christian Ho to get the job done. But when you see you got a titan within feeder series single seaters in the name of MP Motorsport, that way you look at where a lot of the top. Oh, lock up there! Big lock up from Bruno Del, and nearly ended up collecting, ended up in the rear of his teammates. So that could have been the fact that if Bruno Del locked up the anchors, that's going to really cause a possible issue, maybe vibrate spot on the front tyres. That could have been the fact that if Del Pino had not braked in time, then both he and Segrera would have been out and Klus would have been into the race lead. But he's being closed in on by Tangavello, who is less than 6 tenths of a second behind. Maybe even make that half a second. So lap 10 comes to being completed in comparison with the 7 of very heavily interrupted racing we had yesterday. On to lap 11 we go. And Segrera now extends his lead to just under 6 tenths of a second. Tangavello is close to Klus for the battle for P3. And Christian Ho is also trying to get a move on. Still 1.4 seconds behind the Vietnamese driver as Klus and Tangavello come out of the exit of turn 3 at Hugenholz as lock up going into Tarzan. That's a little bit further back in the order. There is a couple of altercations happening here. By that I mean close quarter racing. That's what we love here. It's such a great traditional circuit. And well, it's just a case of some drivers looking to throw caution to the wind. It hasn't been an easy one for home racer Emily de Hoyes, F1 Academy driver in the number 72. Currently in 24th position and has a bit of a, might have been her just having a bit of a lock-up there. But we're into the final third of this race. Still plenty to be decided here at EUROCUP-3. But boy, has it been a welcome return to flat-out full-throttle racing. Under 9.5 minutes to go. So top 10 at the moment. Segreira, Del Cruz, Tangavello, Ho, and then we've got the number 99 of Garfias. And this is the battle for the final step on the podium. Valentin Klus sporting the same number that Sebastian Vettel uses in his initial days in Formula 1, Scuderia Toro Rosso, and then on to becoming a 4-time world champion in Formula 1 with Red Bull Racing. And still, Valentin Klus putting on a defensive masterclass, but Tangavello showing the signs of desperation and urgency all at the same time, wanting to get through and try and get himself onto the final podium of the weekend. It's easier said than done at a circuit here, like Circuit Zandvoort, and it really does showcase how these drivers are pushing to the limit. Coming down to the final 8.25 minutes. Well, Segreira was looking forward to having a race, and as he said to Alex Garcia yesterday, when we were on the starting grid, under a safety car start due to a lights issue, he said, I don't care, I want to go for the win. And he's going to make it back to back. The drought that was a lengthy one. You know, race 1, season opener, Spa-Francorchamps, in the Ardennes forests, and Segreira got off to the best start possible. But then he had to wait. But what he did do was keep consistency in mind. That is very much the case of how these drivers operate. And to be consistent helps you win a championship. But still, wheel-to-wheel action is a trademark of single-seaters. So, Segreira leads the way ahead of Del Pino, Klus, Tangavello, Ho. We've got Garfias, Michael Shin. Rounds out the top 7 positions. And then we've got the number 69. Finley Green from Santalok Racing. He rounds out the top 8, Nikolai Solov and Dario Cabanellas. They round out the top 10, but it is still going to come down to the final few moments. And still, it's so close to call. There are drivers split by mere tenths of a second. And I have to say, shout out to Valentin Klus. This is an absolutely brilliant defensive drive from the number 5 from Germany for Campos Racing. We get into the 5 minutes, and still we wait with bated breath on whether some drivers might have an opportunity to get through. As the number 18 of Garrett Berry looking for getting into the top 10 ahead of Dario Cabanellas from MP Motorsport. There are the two battling over third place. Christian Ho is starting to close on in. This is where it really comes down to sheer aggression, controlled aggression, but also who wants it the most. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Valentin Klus and Podium. Of course, that Valentin Klus possibly considers a being race. You may throw Francochamps, Red Bull, but German driver racing here with 5 minutes. Klus is doing a step fellow. The 3 drive, they're covered by 1.2 seconds. We head on to our next lap, lap 15, with just over 4.5 minutes remaining, and the gaps are coming down, but Valentin Klus has pulled a gap to about half a second over Owen Tangavelu in the number 84 for MP Motorsport. But this is where it really can make the difference. They just have to be persistent and hope and pray and keep their fingers, toes and everything crossed that it's going to work. And sometimes, yes, Lady Luck will be sharp, sometimes won't be. But Valentin Klus has now started to break away from Owen Tangavelu. Christian Ho running at the top 5. And still is closing in. Might have an opportunity, maybe at least at 4th by the end of this race. With lap times at around about a 1 minute 30.699. And that's by our race leader, no doubt, there for Azul. Someone's had a bit of a moment going off the circuit. I was trying to catch the end of the number. It might have been Theodore Jensen that had the drama there, and that would have been a bit of a scare for the driver in 16th place. But with just over 3 minutes to go, probably about another 3 laps might take us to the checkered. So coming across the line, looks like, well, we could be on the cut. We're going to be on three laps, including this one. So now, just keeping an eye on what is happening a little bit further back. So it wasn't Theodore Jensen. Well, I'm looking to see, it was Theodore Jensen that I think had the off-track excursion in the number 30 car for Podium Motorsport. As Emily de Hoys manages to get past the number 20 of Gaspard, the Swiss driver for DriveX. 2 minutes and 15 seconds still remaining on the timer. That was that Tangavelu trying to make a move on Valentin Klus? I think it was, yes. So Valentin Klus might have had a slight moment just a few seconds ago. Tangavelu is right up the rear wing and closing on in on the German driver. Valentin Klus running with red 5. I like that nice little touch on the front nose cone, but he's got to be very careful over what's going to be 3 laps remaining. Leaders are going to come through Ari Lyondike corner and cross the line. 5. We are on to lap 17, so we are pretty much on the window as Tangavelu switches to the outside on Valentin through into Tarzan. And at this point, well, these two have cleared the distance. You probably would say that Javier Sagrera and Bruno Del Pino have ended up getting across either the Dutch-Belgian border or maybe the Dutch-German border. But they are 3+ seconds away ahead of Valentin Klus, who is literally hanging on by a thimble thread on that 3rd place. I know that if Kai, his father, I know for a fact he's nervous. His legs are probably shaking right about now, willing his son on to take that third place, and he still is holding on for the meantime. So Javier Sagrera yet to break the timing beam for Sector 2, which they've just done now. And the timer is very quickly counting down. 20 seconds. It could be very close, nip and tuck. 15 as now the race leader comes through. Arie Luyendyk bocht. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's on the bubble. It's on the bubble. We've got 2 laps. They literally crossed the timing beam on 0. Talk about timing it to perfection. It's great for Javier Sagrera and Bruno Del Pino, but Valentin Klus realises he's got a battle for the best part of over 8.5 kilometres. And if they had slowed the 2 at the front, then we would have been on the final lap. As they make their way through Slotemaker into Schevelach, down the hill, and into Masters at turn 8. Well, I think you've got to look at it from this perspective. It's great points for MP Motorsport, who came into this round of the championship with 277 points against 215 for Campos. But this is only going to bolster them from that perspective. The next time around, we will have the final lap of what has been an intense and exciting full throttle race here at Circuit Zandvoort. And, well, it could have been a very different story had Bruno Del Pino had even more aggressive contact with teammate Javier Sagrera, but through Arie Luyendyk here on lap number 18. Last lap is underway. So 19 laps of this 4.307 kilometre circuit. And now Christian Ho is breathing down the exhaust pipes of one Owen Tangavelo. This is going to give Valentin Klus what he needs. Christian Ho to the inside through the exit of Tarzan. Gerlach looks for the move up the inside, can't get it done. Too much speed carried through the corner by Owen Tangavelo. And what's more, it's even brought a certain number 99 into play, Jose Garfias, who's had a great run in this race. He's outside of the top 10 and is on the bubble of potentially into maybe even the top 5. Is only probably just over 0.4 of a second behind as, oh, there's a Campos car slowing. So might have had a drama a little bit earlier on in the race, in the lap itself. But there we see our 2 race leaders, Javier Sagrera and Bruno Del Pino. Valentin Klus on the cusp of a podium. And what's more, he's going to do it here in style and beat. It's not going to be a complete lockout for MP Motorsport. The spoils have been shared between MP Motorsport and Campos Racing, but it's back-to-back, twice in qualifying, now the double here at Circuit Zandvoort. Delight for MP Motorsport. And congratulations, Javier Sagrera wins race 2. And despite a little bit of a scare early in the race, it's a 1-2 for the team. That's worth celebrating about. Javier Sagrera brings the fight to Christian Ho for 2024. And in 2 weeks, we head to the first of 3 Spanish circuits on the calendar. Motorland Aragon on the 26th to the 28th of July this season. But well done to Sagrera, Bruno Del Pino, and also herzlichen Glückwunsch, Valentin Klus. Du hast das schon verdient. He definitely deserved it. He earned it. Valentin Klus, red 5 for Campos Racing, rounds out the overall podium. Head of Owen Tangavelo, as we see Victoria Blochina being the last of the classified drivers after 19 laps coming across the line. But Javier Sagrera is going to be a very, very happy driver. And of course, there you see Javier Segrera, the unofficial results, Bruno Del Pino, Valentin Klus, Owen Tangevelu, Christian Ho, Jose Garfias, Michael Shin, Yevon David, Nicolas Solov and Dario Cabanellas rounding out the top 10 after 19 laps. Garrett Berry, Daniel Nogales, Diego De La Torre, Luciano Morano, Joao Diaz, Theodore Jensen, Emo Fittipaldi Jr., Isaac Barashi, Nick Gilks and Noah Lyle rounds out the top 20. A bit of a difficult one for Jesse Carrasquedo with Georgi Gervaski, Emily De Hoys, Gaspar de Galle and Victor Bolklina rounding out the 25 finishers. And unfortunately on the opening lap, we lost Kyrgyzstan's Alexander Abkhazova. But what a way to conclude our second collaboration with the Zandvoort Summer Trophy. And yes, it was summer, it's July, it's sunny. Yes, there's a bit of a wind because we're by the North Sea coast. But everyone is going to head into Parc Fermé. And very shortly, we are going to be heading down to our man on the ground at Zandvoort, Alex Garcia. What an exciting race, but the real dramas happened not just on the opening lap where we had our only safety car intervention, but there is a very, very happy driver, number 3, Felicidades, Javier Segrera, and well, congratulations, MP Motorsport, and it's what a day for the Spaniards and for the Dutch. And I'm sure they're going to be celebrating. There we go. Once again, Javier Segrera, triumphant, jubilant, and now it sets in. There's going to be celebrations with the team. Very shortly, we're going to head down to Alex Garcia for the final time before the podium. But what can you say? Campos last year, MP Motorsport reclaims their turf and more importantly, home pride here in the Netherlands. And great to see two teammates. They're just probably discussing the noted incident at Turn 3 at Hugenholz. And I think Segrera might have had more than his blood pressure rise at that point. But more importantly, he's going to be very, very happy. Well, there's the team ready to congratulate him. And you know what? It doesn't matter about nationality. It's all about the family of motorsport. And when you're so entrenched with a team like Javier Segrera, like Bruno Del Pino, like Owen Tangevelu et al., it is a very, very happy time for these drivers. So we are waiting as they now go onto the weighbridge. This is a formality. This is a procedural requirement for these drivers. So they will be weighed in all their racing gear post-race. Of course, with our team at EUROCUP-3 there to make sure that they do not run away. It has happened before where drivers have been there. But Alex Garcia, over to you with our race winner for the second race in a row here at the Netherlands. Let's take it to you and Javier Segrera.
Javier Segrera, ¿cuántas veces nos hemos encontrado y cuando más nos hemos... Javier Segrera, again, how many times we've met today. And when we meet, you know that means you have a good result. Qualifying 1, qualifying 2, race 1 win and race 2 win. And what a race that was. You were saying yesterday, we didn't have so many racing, you know, so many green flag moments. Did today compensate for that?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I like to see you as many times as I can because it means I've done a good job. So, you know, just really grateful again. Opposite race as yesterday, nearly no safety cars, flat out every lap, just managing the gap behind. Again, the car was amazing. The team did an amazing call, and everything, just giving me information and stuff. So I cannot be more happy. Again, it's the home race for the team, so giving them a full P1 weekend, it's I'm just so grateful. You know, my family, my mom, my dad, my mechanics, engineers. If I'm here, it's because of all the work we've done during the off season, during season. It's not been easy, but now we've put it all together.
And I was going to ask about that, about the team. This is not just, you know, someone you drive for. It's a team that you've really got used to, that you've gelled very, very well. So how important is that, not just for you, but for them as well?
Well, I think, you know, I said it to everyone. Since I got in this team, I felt like a super warm welcome. It felt like I was at home. Everyone is so nice, and that's what, at the end, it says teamwork makes dream work, and it's absolutely true. So, yeah, super grateful.
Very good, Javier. Enjoy it, and time to celebrate.
Thank you very much.
And if we continue with the order, we go from P1 from Javier Sagrera to P2, Bruno Del Pino. Bruno, great result, but I have to ask you, how about that moment with your teammate fighting for the win? What a fight today.
Well, obviously, this track is really difficult to overtake. The pace was there throughout the race, especially the first part. We were so fast and then tried to overtake to my teammate. And then into T3, obviously a difficult pace to overtake. I tried a risky move. But then obviously with a heel, it became really difficult, and then just made a little contact with my teammate. Nothing big, thanks. But I mean, yeah, after that just continued. The pace was there, but yeah, as I said, difficult to overtake.
And good result for the team as well. P1, P2 for them at their home race. That's got to be special.
Yeah, really happy for the team, obviously winning in team soil. Congrats also to my teammate Javier. He's done an incredible weekend, and yeah, keeping it up like this for Motorland in 2 weeks' time, and obviously trying to improve 2-3 things that we need to improve, and try to get the victory that we need.
Bring on Motorland then. Time to enjoy. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And we go with third classified driver, Valentin Klus. Valentin, congratulations for the third place. And how was the race for you?
It was I would say overall it was a good race, but it was very, very difficult. I mean, I had a pretty good start and just used that, tried to get a position, and it worked out pretty good. My restart was quite bad, and I had to defend from the start, and that's where the gap started to evolve to P2. I think I could have, like pace-wise, the car felt really good, but yeah, I did too many mistakes and just didn't maximize really what I had. I was sliding a bit, and yeah, it was also the first time driving in the drive, so yeah, it really came together. It was really difficult, but I'm glad that worked out, and yeah, I want to thank my team and everyone else, my engineer, my coach, my family, everyone, and my friends.
And I want to ask you, there was a big fight at the end for that P3, so you must really feel like you've earned it.
Yeah, that was a big fight because yeah, he closed up more and more, but yeah, then P5 closed up to P4, and then they were fighting, so I could pull away a little bit, so that made it a bit easier for sure.
Thank you very much, Valentin, and time to enjoy for the podium, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. So those were our top three in today's race, and I do want to remember for a moment, since we are at the Netherlands, that this P1 and P2 from MP Motorsport also needs to keep a reminder for our sorely missed Dilano Van Hoff, who is still present, of course, in many of the cars in EUROCUP-3 as well as other classes, but especially in MP Motorsport's machines.
Alex, I completely agree with those sentiments. The late Dilano Van Hoff, who we lost just over a year ago in the Ardennes Forest as well, Francorchamps. But looking back at the highlights, we got exactly what we needed. Flat out, full throttle racing. And this was the biggest moment that could have caused drama and a bit of a difficult debrief. However, Bruno Del Pino and Javier Sagrera got away with it pretty much scot-free, and they started cantering away into the distance. But it was Valentin Klus, the young rookie from Germany, who managed to get past Owen Tangavello in the meantime and hold on to the position despite having to deal with dramas for the car sliding, possibly a setup. But Javier Sagrera is bringing the fight to Christian Ho in 2024. And not just him, we have to also remember about the fact that Bruno Del Pino was very much in the top three coming into this championship round. But here we get underway with the podium for round 5, race 2.
On behalf of Hankook and Andres Mendes, on behalf of the F4 EuroCup. And then we call forwards the numbers 3, 2 and 1. In third position, it's Valentin Klus. And second place finisher is Bruno Del Pino. race 1, the winner is Javier Sagrera. And for our Spanish winner, we're going to listen to the Spanish national anthem. And another round of applause for our winner, Javier Sagrera. Second man, Bruno Lopino and Valentin Kloes will be handed.
Well, that rounds out the action here for round 5, race 2 for EUROCUP-3 for 2024. The good thing is, well, the battle continues as we head to Motorland Aragon in just 2 weeks' time, the 26th to the 28th of July. So join us, and a big thank you to all of us from the team here at EUROCUP-3. On behalf of Alex Garcia, my name's Alex Goldschmidt. We'll see you next time in weeks for the next adventure in EUROCUP-3 2024.
This is a nice